Good morning. As I listened to John's thought for the day last week, as he spoke about the story of Mary and Martha, I marvelled that the Bible reading that he was reflecting on has been used thousands of times over by many thousands of preachers all over the world over many hundreds of years. And each time will have been different. Those words from 2,000 years ago echo down the centuries and across the oceans, miraculously eliciting responses that are always fresh and new and relevant for our ever-changing human condition. Last week's Thought for the Day Facebook post is the result of one man's interaction with the words of his God as revealed in the Bible, as he reflects on our present-day situation and what those particular words can reveal to us about it and what our response could be. It's not actually a book, it's more like a library. 66 books written over many hundreds of years in many different styles. Those books together chronicle God's relationship with his people. And by the end of the first part, the Old Testament, it's not looking great. So to leave us in no doubt as to how he expects us to live, he decides to give us clarity by sending his son to be an example. And how that all pans out and how the early church begins is told in the New Testament. There is a bit more to it than that, but I've only got 5 minutes. Christians believe that this Bible is the inspired Word of God, and as such is a personal communication from God to every individual who chooses to read it. And inspiration is what comes from this unique collection of writings. The words in here have given life to 1 billion great thoughts and actions. It is, of course, inspiration for preachers spreading the word of God to the rest of us, but it's also inspired artists in ways that have enriched the lives of the rest of us as they respond to what it says to them. Without the Bible, we wouldn't have this. That's Handel, his Messiah, or this is Rachmaninoff's response to the words of his God. We wouldn't have Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice, or Macbeth, Measure for Measure, or Dante's Inferno, or A Christmas Carol. And my personal favourites, the Chronicles of Narnia, are a great way to introduce Christ to children. And even the Harry Potter books use biblical imagery. They all take their inspiration from this. And of course there's art. Michelangelo's David, the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, Crucifixion by Dali, Da Vinci's Virgin of the Rocks, and poetry. This is one of my personal favourites. It's Good Friday by Christina Rossetti. Am I a stone and not a sheep, that I can stand, O Christ, beneath thy cross, to number drop by drop thy blood's slow loss, and yet not weep? Not so those women loved, who with exceeding grief lamented thee, not so fallen Peter, weeping bitterly, not so the thief was moved, not so the sun and moon, which hid their faces in a starless sky, a horror of great darkness at broad noon. I, only I. Yet give not o'er, but seek thy sheep, true shepherd of the flock, greater than Moses, turn and look once more and smite a rock. This is so much more than a set of books used by vicars on a Sunday. There truly is something for everyone here. That's how God designed it. If you've never looked inside, why not give it a go? Who knows what inspiration you might find in here?